I am back with my tea. Look, Brian got me this cup for Mother's Day. I hope it says, sometimes you forget you're awesome, so this is your reminder. I like it. Welcome to the Dwellness channel. I am Ruth. I always end up spilling my tea when I take the first sip.
All right, y'all. I suffer from migraines, so at the time of this recording, I was going through a posterdrome, which is the tail end of a migraine. So forgive me for being slow and mixing up my words. I did my best.
I am creative director, which means that I do the interior design elements of Steinmetz. And I am also a community advocate and marketer. I wear many hats, and I just love beautiful and peaceful and personalized spaces. So that's what I try to give my clients and my friends and you. So today I am going to talk about how to furnish your space with thrift finds or things that you don't have to buy brand new. We just moved into this space. It's been a month now, and we have managed to fill it with a lot of furniture items that we got from Facebook Marketplace, we got from thrift stores. Some of the items that we found on Facebook Marketplace, we ended up getting them for free because people were just moving out and they were like, oh, and we're also giving this item away, we don't want to sell it. Like this hutch over here, we got for free. The reason why I came up with this topic was it's very expensive and actually time consuming, daunting, scary, taxing to furnish your home. You know, you have this empty blank space, or if you're moving from a smaller space to a bigger space, or you're just kind of moving anyway. This is mid-year, so a lot of leases are up and people are moving in between the school year. So this is a situation that a lot of people come up against, is how to furnish a space. And I will come up with a video where I'll talk about how to gravitate towards things that reflect your personal style. Today, I want to just talk about the tips that you can use to help you identify the items that you can buy from those places. I would recommend getting pieces that are made of real wood and not particle board or laminate. Now, granted, sometimes you'll find like a really nice IKEA piece that someone passed off, but if you're looking for something that has real character, that adds real warmth, that is easy to, well, not, sometimes it's not easy, but it's generally easier to refurbish or give new life, then you're better off finding pieces that are made of real wood. And sometimes you can get away with getting a piece and painting it. But I find that I have retained a lot of pieces that are actually original or authentic wood, and I have enjoyed those items longer than laminate. So that's definitely something that I'm recommending. I had to purpose in my search to find those pieces, and when I went to inspect them, I made sure that the joineries were good, that the finish was in relative good condition, because again, I assessed my situation. I live in an apartment. I don't necessarily have space to be able to sand down and restain, so I wanted to make sure that the furniture pieces were ready to use or almost ready to use. Another thing that I do when I bring in the wood pieces is I get some finishing products. Like there's this Rejuvenate. it's done so much for my wood pieces. It's just giving them like a breath of fresh air. Also, like getting like, pledge or um, furniture oils to wipe on top, just to revive it. And wood is just one of those elements that will always give you back what you're looking for. Mirrors can be so expensive when you go to a store. They can be hundreds of dollars. And then when you want the really nice beveled edge, it can just, the price can keep going up and up. And what I've found is that you can find some really good antique finishes, authentic, like it's aged on its own. And you can also find some nice beveled edge mirrors. I've gotten mirrors for less than $30 a piece, and these are like, like this size kind of mirrors. So that's what I recommend. Lighting is such an important element. When you go into a space, it's not enough to just rely on the space's fixed light fixtures, the overhead lights. You need to have mid-level and accent lights in your space because they give you the focal point, they give you the ambient lighting, and they also help you control the amount of light you use in a space. And sometimes in the evening, I just let some lamps stay on because I have kids, they don't want to be in a really dark space, and you may not even want that either. And so having teeny tiny lights staying on throughout the night is just such a great vibe to add to your space. So check out these spaces, Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, for really neat lamps, and you will not be disappointed in what it can do for your space. I really like finding original art pieces, original acrylics, and watercolors and oil paintings. And it's also a great place to find good frames. Frames can be very expensive. Again, this is like trying to reduce the expense. If you can find it for a cheaper price, then why waste your money at a store, at a big box store or a big store? So sometimes I can find an art piece that is not my style, but the frame is just really well made and it has the elements I'm looking for. So I just buy it for the frame and then I swap it out when I get home. You can go to museum shops online and print out really good art pieces. You can make your own art piece. You can frame family photos or mementos, things that are meaningful to you. And there you have something that is truly personal and also looks good for a fraction of the price. Instead of buying a finished art piece and then having it professionally framed, and that could run you into the hundreds of dollars before you know it. So that's my advice. Other items that I find at these spaces are little trinket boxes. I like finding vases, jugs, plant holders, trays. And one thing that I look out for when I am looking for accessories, home accessories, is the material. Again, the material is the guiding factor when you're going to thrift. Look for natural elements like stone, or even ceramic, well-made ceramic. Pottery, look for handmade items and not necessarily like mass-produced items. You can find some, but for the most part, you're better off finding something that's handmade. It's going to give you that authentic um, artisan feel in your space. And um, and for vases, just look for really nice polished finishes. I also like metal containers. Those are really hard to find, but when you find a nice trinket box that's made of metal, or a jug that's made of well crafted metal, and then when the metal has some patina, that just gives it adds more dimension to your space. Sometimes you can also find plants. I have had the opportunity of finding really great plants. Now, granted, these plants I bought new. It's a bird of paradise, and it's a yucca, I think. Um, I got them from Lowe's, and they've served me well. They have grown over the years. I got this plant behind me when she was teeny tiny. I'm gonna do a plant video. I should do that because I'm such a plant mama. They give me so much joy. I am actually in the perfect spot to show you the things that I get for my kitchen, which are casserole dishes. So I have this item. Look at that. Now, isn't that gorgeous? I got this for $12 at a restore. Oh, the lighting has balanced itself. It's so nice, isn't it? It's just well made, and it is by Villeroy and Bach. I believe I'm pronouncing it well. And it is microwave safe, freezer to oven. This is something that is gonna be in my life. Like it's gonna last for a long time. So and hopefully, I think for many lifetimes, I'll do my best to take care of it. And so I just, the value of finding something so beautiful, so well made, so practical, and that's gonna last me a long time. It's just unmatched. There's other pieces too. I got it's a couture by Mikasa. It's a teacup out of a whole set of dinnerware that I got. Let me see if I can pull up a plate. Okay, here you go. Now, isn't that precious? These are really well made. They're not microwave safe because they have that gold trim. Find good pieces that you can use every day. You don't need to have plain, boring plates as your everyday plates. When you can go to the thrift store and get a nice china set for $30, $40, $50 that you can use every day and elevate your meals. Give yourself a nice experience every time you sit down, even if it's eating pizza. You just put it on a nice china plate, and you feel. What are the feelings that I get? I feel worthy. I feel valuable. My everyday experiences need to also matter, and so I try to give myself pieces that will elevate my day-to-day life, because those moments are also worth enjoying and remembering in a good light. Let me drink some tea. Other items that I get from the thrift store are coffee table books. I got these from a thrift store, and I also got candle holders. I have this thing for glass and cut glass. I just feel like it's very, it's intricate, and it catches the light really well, bounces light really well. So I get a lot of cut glass pieces, cut glass bowl. Sometimes I put candy. Sometimes I put appetizers, little sauces. footed jar that I've put candy, coconut candy. Oh, one last thing that I want to show you that's cut glass. These salt and pepper shakers. Look at how gorgeous they are. And I just have them on my table. All right, that's it. You can also get blankets. You can get cushions, cushion covers. You can get carpets, but you need to be very careful and discerning when you're sourcing those items. Now, if it's a blanket or a cushion cover, you can just throw it in the wash and it will be good as new or usable. And I really like vintage blankets, and I'm always looking for good quilts and good crocheted blankets and nice wool blankets. They're a bit harder to find nowadays, but I always look out for them. Now, when it comes to things like carpet, you can find a well-made, hand-knotted, hand-dyed carpet, vintage carpets, and there's a huge market for them, and they can be expensive if you're looking for a kilim rug, and those can go in the hundreds to even like a couple of $1,000s. But these are rugs that are authentic. You know, they will look gorgeous in your space and they will keep serving you for years to come. So they are worth it. Now you can also buy, you know, just regular wool or polypropylene rugs if the style and the color and, you know, if it looks good to you. But just look out for pet history, you know, little critters, pee. These things can hide so much gunk. So just be a little bit more discerning, smell it out, and it might not smell really bad in the store. And then when you get it home, you're like, oh, okay, that's not good. And sometimes even having like a rug professionally cleaned can be more expensive than the purchase price. So sometimes it's not worth getting a rug or a piece of upholstery, like upholstered item like a chair. But if it's something like a dining chair, you can always recover that. Those are easy fixes. If it's an accent chair, you know, just really check it out and make sure that it is not sketchy. It doesn't have a sketchy smell or look like it's been through stuff. And sometimes if you do have the budget, you can just reupholster. Sometimes you can get a really well made vintage or really well crafted accent chair, armchair, sofa that just needs a new breath of life in it with reupholstery. And I think that that's a much better way to get furniture sometimes because it just keeps that furniture going instead of having it just fade off into the landfill. We're not looking to do that and making the earth worse than it already is. We're looking to salvage things that were made with good intentions and, well, for the most part. And we just want to keep them going. So sometimes you got to see if the framework, the bones, look at the bones. Just the same way you can look at the bones of a house, you can also look at the bones of a piece of furniture. Check and see if it's not rickety, it's sturdy. The fills look like they just need a little bit of plumping, and you can give it the life that it needs to continue serving us humans. Okay, I think that's it for now. I think I've given you a lot of things to think about. Let me know in the comments what you think about my tips and what other tips you use when you buy items off of thrift stores, off of antique stores, off of Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, mainly when you're trying to buy things that are not from a flagship store. This is a sharing community. I would love for all of us to inspire one another, to move us in directions that really elevate our lives, but not to the point of depleting our resources that we work so hard to squirrel away. We don't need to be caught up in consumerism where we just buy things and they don't serve us the way they need to. So yeah, that's that for now. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.